This is the titanium version of the Spinnaker Tesei, $520, Miyota 8215. If you haven't checked out my review of the bronze version, I will leave a link in the description below. So basically what you are getting here is, in my opinion, a downgraded version of the bronze. And the reason I say that is for multiple things. One, you don't get that same nice patterned dial. They went back to that granite textured dial. I'll give you a close-up look at that in a second. This has a domed sapphire crystal, and it says it is AR coated, but man, I'll tell you, I don't know if it's just the dome, I don't know if it's the quality of the crystal, or a lack of AR coating, but this thing is super reflective. You're also getting the Miyota 8215 instead of the SW200 movement that was in the bronze. The bronze sells for $850, and I talked about it in my last video. I don't know if people are ready to pay that price for a Spinnaker watch at this time, especially considering that these watches that Spinnaker usually produces are in the sales or discount codes, and you can get them for around $350. This one was up for a pre-order. I got it after the pre-order period. I think it was somewhere in the range of $300 and some dollars, but now it's $520 on the site. And I've talked about this many times before. I am not a fan of the Miyota 8215 at all. I never will be. I don't like that it's non-hacking. I don't like that it ends up developing that stuttering second hand. As a matter of fact, I just realized here, I apologize. There we go. Let's get the watch started. I shook it up before I started it here, but anyways, there it goes. I'm not a fan of this movement at all, and at this price point, if this watch was $250, I'd be like, okay, here's something to keep in mind. Take a look at any of the past Obrus Morgan reviews that we have done. Now, I know every brand is different and styles are different and everything can be subjective to certain people, but just take a look at the watches they produce and for the prices and everything that they have. As a matter of fact, I believe they did a top grade ETA 2824, I believe, or an elaborate version ETA 2824, and it still didn't come anywhere as close. I think it was $400 and some dollars, so it still was about $100 cheaper than this with a Miyota 8215. I'm going to go ahead here and do my best to give you a close-up look at that textured dial. You can see it is a deep blue. If you don't like the blue, they also have a black dial, but that has a blue ceramic bezel instead of this dark charcoal matte ceramic bezel. Also, I think the word titanium on here just wasn't needed. It makes it a 4-line dial, and I don't know. It's I think you know that your watch is titanium. You bought it. Specs, you are looking at pretty much the same. It's the same in size. It's 43 millimeters wide. It is only 15 millimeters thick though, because it's 200 meters water resistant versus 300 meters water resistant. And I think a lot of people are going to like that it is a thinner profile. 51 millimeter lug to lug and 22 millimeter strap width. And this does come with an exhibition case back. Now, they don't say what this is. I'm going to imagine that it is a mineral crystal on the case back here. The thing is I really wanted to like this version because I think, as everybody knows, I've said it many times, I'm not a huge bronze watch fan, mostly because I really can't wear them all too often because it turns my skin green. I have that reaction to it. So when I saw the titanium, I was like, wow. And then I got it, and I'm like, oh, you know what? This to me is just, I don't want to say a fail, but man, it could have been, if it was the same quality and the same components, I guess, as the bronze version. What I mean by that is just everything feels like a downgrade here. The dial feels like a downgrade. The bezel has some looseness to it. It stays, I'll show it to you here in a second. The bezel stays in place where you put it, but when you're turning it, it just has a loose feeling. It feels kind of cheap. And to go to that 8215 movement, at the very least, I would have preferred a NH35. It just feels like a downgrade. And then when you're talking that price, now, I don't know if there's a discount code out there available. Maybe you can get a discount code and get this like maybe $50 cheaper or something like that. It just seems to me they raised their prices a little bit. First, as a matter of fact, the Spinnaker went down with their prices, and there for a while their prices were actually really good for what you were getting. Now it's like they're on this trend of raising them, and it's like, you know what? If you're going to raise your prices, that's fine. But raise them with the quality in mind. It should reflect what the price is. And for this one, it just doesn't reflect the price for me. Let me go ahead here and show you what I'm talking about with this bezel. Now, it's hard to know what I feel, you know, of course, on video here, but it just has a loose feeling to it that just does not feel quality at all whatsoever. It does stay where you put it. It is just not a satisfying turning or clicking bezel. Crown action is okay. There is I don't want to call it a grittiness, but there's just some tightness a little bit when you're turning it. That is due to that Miyota 8215 movement. It does screw back down though. No problem, even when I'm behind the camera. Here's a look on my 7.5-inch wrist. It wears pretty much just like the bronze version, although as I said, this one is thinner at 15 millimeters, which a lot of people will probably like a lot better, unless you do prefer a much thicker watch. There are 4 strap holes left, so I would say probably up to about 8.25-inch wrist with this strap out of the box. If you have a wrist larger than that, you're probably going to need to buy another strap. The buckle on this, by the way, is not titanium. It is bead blasted stainless steel. For you Loom junkies, here is a look at the Loom of the titanium Tesei. As you can see, it starts out pretty bright, but it actually fades rather quickly to a very dull Loom, and it happens really quick. And the thing is, you know, they say it's C3 Superluminova, but I wonder if it's actually Swiss Superluminova or Chinese Superluminova. There is a difference, trust me. As I said, this one is just a pass for me. If you do like it and want to check it out, I, of course, am here only to present my opinion and facts. So if you do like it, I will have the link to the Spinnaker website to order the titanium Tesei for yourself if you choose to do so. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to our channel, please do so and hit that notification bell twice. That way you'll never miss any of our content. If you really like this video, go ahead and share it on your social media. We would be appreciative. If you want to follow us on social media, it is @WatchReport. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. This has been a look at the Spinnaker Tesei in titanium. This is Don Evans from WatchReport.com. Talk to you on the next one.